Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to, I want to say yet another episode, but it is obviously episode 100. I'm aware of that. Thank you so much for everyone listening. I do appreciate it immensely. And, I want to get into today's guest, really. There's a little special that I'm going to do on the channel. If you want to celebrate with me 100 episodes, I'll go through a little commentary. But yeah, thank you to everyone for listening. If you want to help out, Patreon, why not? 100th episode donation, or go onto Twitter. Send us an email if you want to come on the show as well. You want to do anything with previews, etc. And yeah, leave us a review. As I say, get in touch with us any way you want to. It's all good, really. Today is a really special episode. It's episode 100, and I'm very happy to celebrate with someone who is not only a creative in so many Renaissance sense of the term, not only a cameraman, a cinematographer, a commentator, someone who's groundbreaking to a certain extent. Is this mad hyperbole? But I think it's right. Someone who's pushing the scene in all the right directions, in huge, individual strides. Avocado, how's it going, man?
What up, Tom? Thanks for that intro. That was very flattering.
I have to, though, man, because, you're one of those people that obviously who you are in the scene, but as kind of a young British boy, I was like, who's Avocado? I'm like, okay, he films King of the Dark, but I don't know what he looks like. I don't know why he's called this. Oh, okay, he did like Vendetta, and I think he's recorded all this crazy shit, and then obviously becoming a fan, becoming knowledgeable, you moving from Daily Spice into the Ruin Your Day videos, into the crazy things that this awesome show has done, like the sort of the way we'll discuss this, the places you've gone, but yet You've always been here, haven't you? You're one of the old monarchs of the scene, yet you're pushing and defining it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's really flattering to hear, and it's good to know that I'm not getting old and stale.
No, man, so fresh. Like, it's just, awesome to see. The enthusiasm, I guess. Like, let's just jump into it. Traffic Free just went down recently. I've been watching a lot of recaps. Great to read as a Brit again. Great to wake up the morning after an event and everyone's leaving and tweeting about it, so you can just sort of see it in real time. And one of the main messages was, "Oh my god, this Avocado feed is incredible!" Like the URL feed had been getting better. The pay-per-view, later events had definitely been getting renowned, but this one, everyone was like, "Holy shit, this is next level."
Yeah, it was definitely like overwhelming with all the positive feedback that me and the team got doing that event.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, like that event couldn't have gone any better. Like in my opinion, it's just like everything worked out great. Dealing with URL has been a pleasure so far. Like they're very, very, very professional. They were like working with me during the event the whole time in a way that I'm not really used to, so that was refreshing and cool. And yeah, the event just went phenomenal. And I kind of feel like the team that I have that we do these pay-per-views and kind of run the events, we finally have tweaked it to the point that I'm like, everybody fits into the role perfectly. They're all professionals from a film standpoint as well. So they understand their craft completely. And yeah, it went great. And, obviously it was my first time working with them. So I wanted to, leave my mark on their product, but I also didn't want to kind of delineate too far away from how their product looks. Right. So it's like, I didn't want to shoot it like a King of the Dot battle where like we're on stage pointing out towards the crowd. I wanted to keep, their product's integrity, the way they like it. So, we shot it a little bit differently than I usually shoot battles, but I kind of added some things that I thought were kind of missing from their the way they set up their cameras and yada yada. So, and yeah, I just tried my best to make the product look great, and it just came out good. And I was honestly kind of a little nervous about putting the watch episodes between the battles, but people actually liked them a lot, just because I didn't really know how the demographic was going to respond to seeing somebody, like you said, a lot of people don't know what I look like, so they don't really know who I am. I didn't know if they're going to be like, who the fuck is this white boy on my screen? Like
he is ruining my day.
Exactly. So I was nervous about that, but everybody responded to it really positively, and the feedback was like overwhelmingly like encouraging, and I was like, hell yeah, all right, I'm going to keep doing this, and I just want to keep pushing the culture forward and like just making everyone's stuff look good, because I think it's like if we do that, then the industry is just going to keep growing at more of an exponential rate, and it's just going to be taken a lot more serious, so.
I mean, visually, what URL events of the past would you point to you think are pretty slick, like, real definitive?
My favorite, now this isn't like from a pay-per-view standpoint,
Sure.
because those are kind of two different things, but my favorite event that they have done that I think looks really, really good and sounds really good, and audio quality to me is kind of more important right now, just because I think it's like, at the end of the day, this is a phonically driven art form, it's like, yeah. So like, if you look at some events even I've done where it's like visually it looks really good, but this audio is kind of not the best, like Vendetta 2 I think is a good example where the audio isn't the best in the world. Battle of LA 5 actually also, where Shufflo battled Dan and Caustic. Right. The audio is not the best, but I think a URL event that's like fantastic across the board is I don't remember what event it was, but it's the event that B Magic battled Conceited and Sue Surf battled Hitman Holla.
Summer Madness 4, yeah.
Yeah, that event as a whole is just incredible. And also, another one that looks and sounds really good is the event that DNA battled Ill Will at, and told Smack to get the fuck out of here. I love that. Yeah. That moment's so cool. But yeah, those two really stick out. And of course, Twiz, when he first came on the scene and like started using DSLRs, and the way he shot, for example, Cortez versus Marv 1, that really actually kind of changed the way I shot battles as well, because I was like, wow, this DSLR footage looks incredible, and it's like you can use interchangeable lenses, so there's like tight depth of field. It's really shallow, it looks awesome, and that actually pushed me to shoot with DSLR. So URL's had some really good looking stuff in the past, and I was glad I could just contribute to it. So
yeah, it still really makes it fresh. Like, no offense to a lot of the early grind time stuff, but some of it's just dated, like visually to a certain extent. But even watching Summer Madness 2, from like 2011, it looks fucking fantastic. Like, it looks so crisp. It looks so epic. I remember my first taste of URL, and it was like, wow, it's huge characters, long rounds, and just epic visuals. Like, really captured like the atmosphere. Yeah,
it's really, they definitely like put their product on a pedestal, and it's out there, it's bold, it's like in neon shining lights URL. So it's like their product is awesome. And Summer Madness 2 also had my favorite battle trailer of all time was when they released it and they were announcing all the matches, and I was just like, holy shit, this trailer is fucking incredible. Right.
I mean, the battle rap trailer, is that something you've learned from working in movies at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working in film for a lot longer than that, but I've been doing VFX for 12 years now. But yeah, I mean, I've been involved with filmmaking ever since I was 15. So I actually started off making skateboard videos. That's kind of how I learned post-production. And that's, I think, kind of where I kind of grew into learning how editing timing, trailer timing, building a crescendo, an impact, a payoff, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I mean, just doing it over and over again, I think I finally like fine-tuned, the skill it takes to do a successful battle trailer.
I mean, you have what every film school graduate dreams of, an extensive IMDb.
Yeah, man, it's so funny because like literally, Tom, like I forget what movies I work on. Like, right. There's been times when I've been in a movie theater and being like, why does this look so familiar? And I'm like, oh yeah, I fucking worked on this movie. I work on so many movies throughout the year that list on IMDb, like I don't update that. Somebody, I have no idea who updates those, but because I don't really care about like the credits and stuff. I'd rather my name not be in the movies, and they give somebody else who like really wants that up there. But yeah, that list is pretty short actually to the actuality of how many films I've worked on throughout my career. It's fucking endless, pretty much.
Sure. Yeah, 26 credits in visual effects all the way up to this year. You're mainly referred to as a compositor. Is that right?
I mean,
what is that?
A compositor. So it's kind of I guess I'll use this analogy. Like if post-production was like a restaurant, I'm essentially the the chef that takes all the recipes and all the ingredients and puts it together. So I take elements that are shot with like a film camera, and then I take elements that are made for like CGI, and I put them together in the shot and make it look like the final shot. So like green screen, I'll pull the green out and put the background in there. I'll put like a CGI like transformer in a scene, like a plane. I do a lot of explosions too. Like that's kind of like been my my kick recently, and people think I'm good at it for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I do a lot of like explosion shots and like destruction shit. So yeah.
You worked on Jon Favreau's Chef.
yeah. I actually met John. He's a really nice guy. He had us watch the film in his studio before it was done, and that's like that doesn't really happen ever in my line of work, like meeting the director. And yeah, I don't know if you've seen that movie, but I watched it like first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and I was fucking starving afterwards. I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
Just to get back to Traffic briefly, you mentioned your crew, your people that you were working with. How many people, and what are they doing individually?
So essentially, like on Traffic 3, there was a crew of 6 people. So we got me. I'm like directing the whole thing and doing like the live editing, picking out the angles, switching them on the fly, and then like putting videos up as a transitional piece after the battle's finished. Then I have a producer, 3 cinematographers, 2 audio guys, and a director of photography. So, it's not a small team, but it's not a big team either. But yeah, and they're all working professionals in the film industry. So it helped a lot to have that aspect.
Did you feel? What were the differences you felt? I mean, you've worked mostly in King of the Dart environments. This is your first time at a URL event. Is that right? Yeah, working it. Yeah. So, I mean, what were the differences you detected, if any, in the event?
Well, I mean, the biggest difference, I would say, between a King of the Dot and URL, or basically a URL event and any other Battle League, is that their fans that go to these battles go to watch the battles. Like they go there and they get in the venue, and once the battle starts, it's like quiet. Like, and then when a line happens, they either accept it or they don't. So that's really different than countless other battles I've been to where people kind of are there as more of a social event. It's like they're there to kind of talk through some battles, not really give all the battles the full attention that they deserve. And yeah, that's just what I noticed. And I was like, God damn, this crowd is like amazing. It was a really good crowd that night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to play devil's advocate, but King of the Dot Toronto crowd, wake up, man. Like, you're ruining events. You're ruining them.
I know.
They don't care. They never learn.
I know. It was pretty World Dom 7, like I thought the event was good, but yeah, the crowd in Toronto was super quiet, and it was really strange because it was like it wasn't even like they were talking. They were kind of just like watching the battles and not reacting. I was like, wow, this is insane. But I talked with Organic, and he says he's going to kind of, there's a couple aspects to why it was like that. It was a night event. They usually do daytime events. People might have been getting a little too lit, and they're going to scale back and not do huge mega events in Toronto anymore, which I think is a really good idea. Scaling back and going smaller, I think that's like just the recipe for success 9 times out of 10. So,
and it's mad, isn't it? How, and I mean this in the best possible sense. You're very much in control visually of battle rap, especially I guess King of the Dot. Like you are sort of directing a lot of them on screen and then designing a lot of the flyers or the trailers or whatever. And do you ever feel like your taste has permeated such depths in the culture?
Yeah. I mean, for sure. And King of the Dot, I've been blessed working with them because like they give me a lot of freedom. I like can pretty much do whatever I want, which is amazing. And there's been events where I've like had themes to events. Like I did an event that was entirely themed around Akira, the anime.
Right.
And then I did another event that was entirely themed around Godzilla.
Huh?
So, and they're cool with that. They're just like, yeah, let's do it. So sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know if people are gonna really fuck with this. It's like a fucking, it's kind of nerdy, but people seem to fuck with it. And also, you know, there's been a lot of trailers and like intros that I haven't used hip hop in. And I'm always kind of like, fuck, I don't know if people are gonna really fuck with this because, you know, this is an art form that's based in hip hop. And then usually people dig it. They usually fuck with it. So I'm always surprised.
Yeah,
Pleasantly.
yeah. I'll hit you with a quick question by Adam Honey. Shout out to everyone commenting on the Ruin Your Day thread. Worst event you've ever filmed?
From like an event standpoint, or like the event I like filmed the worst.
Let's say both. Let's say both.
Okay. The event I'm not really proud of how it looks or sounds is World Dom 4.
Well, yeah, I remember the boomy World Dom. Was that Pat Stay and Diz?
No. I didn't actually film that one. Right. That was World Dom 4 is Pat Stay and Arcane.
Oh, okay. Oh, the flags in the fall, wasn't it? The sort of the
yeah, exactly. It was just like we weren't really prepared, and that was actually my first big stage event I ever filmed. So I was still kind of getting my bearings straight on how to film on a stage, and yeah, it was just I kind of dropped the ball on that one. And then the worst event that I filmed in terms of an event. Yeesh. Well, I'll say this one actually. Ether.
Wow. Oh shit.
You know, like there's countless reasons why that event was kind of soiled. And I did film the first like 2 battles at that event. I actually brought my red, and I told Lutch that I was like, dude, I'm like, these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, you guys are like literally treating this like a public broadcast station. They're filming it all at like 30 frames per second. It looks like fucking trash. And I'm like, dude, I'll film this for free. Like, just let me film this, because I was like, you gotta capture a huge battle like Diz and Cassidy in the correct manner.
Yeah.
And they straight up wouldn't let me film it. They like wouldn't give me any space like to film it.
Yeah.
I was in the crowd with my tripod and a red filming Ilmac and Real Deal, and after that battle I just stopped. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna fucking do this. And then furthermore, the event got shut down, and then in the garage I was there and I brought my camera again, and I'm like, dude, I'll film this, like this is what I do. It's like, and they didn't let me again. They're like, nah, we got it. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Film on. Shout out Alki David. Whatever.
What is it with these mad billionaires and battle rap?
Man, yeah, it's hilarious, isn't it? It's always funny to me. Like, if you look at like the countless investors that come in, like, oh, battle rap, it's a niche market. We're gonna make huge profits from this. People love it, you know. Look at like Red Bull, Total Slaughter, Film On. You know, like even some of the minor investors too, like Teddy Grizzle. Like, it takes a lot more than just fucking money to move this culture. It takes a lot more than money. Like, you have to have true passion for it, and you have to actually know what the fuck you're doing. 9 times out of 10, those fools didn't know what they're doing. They're just like, we'll give a bunch of money to you, throw an event, you know, and they just missed the mark. And that's why there hasn't been any more Film On events. That's why there's not a Total Slaughter 2, you know, kind of. I know that Jump Off is coming back with the Spin the Mic, but I kind of think that's kind of how the WRCs were going. They were headed in that direction too. So, but yeah, I know the big investors is always just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and you know, filming at events. Let's go back to, you know, your first interactions filming battle. I mean, I guess seeing battle rap. Let's go back to the start. Like, how did you initially find out about it?
Well. When I was growing up, I was into Wu-Tang, and I came across a battle with RZA in it in 1998, I think. It was on BET, and I was like, oh, wow, RZA's like battling, and it was cool. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm kind of fucking with this. And he actually, you know, the funniest part is he actually battled this guy, Mooney D, who changed his name to Moon, and Moon's actually battling in
that
the
was
PGs
Moon
now.
from the PGs. Shit.
Yeah.
I need to watch that. Oh shit.
Dude, he's awesome. He like raps with a cigar in his mouth. It's fucking bad.
Yeah, he battled Holmesy the God. Like, yeah, he's sick. Like, yeah, he's oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so he's actually the reason why I'm in battle rap was him.
Shit.
And he beat RZA, and then like I kind of like I didn't really follow it after I saw that battle, and then I was into like super backpackerish hip hop, and I was at like a fucking Atmosphere show, and they had a Scribble Jam VHS, and I bought it, and I went home and put it in, and the first battle was Mac Lethal versus Kashmir the Professional, and I was like, fuck, dude, this is incredible. This is awesome. I love this shit. And then the next year I went to Scribble Jam, and then the year after that I went to Scribble Jam, and I was just hooked.
What years were those that you were going?
I went 2002 and 2003. I went the year Dose Noun won, and then I went the year that Rhyme Fest won.
Right, it's mad, isn't it? Like, I don't really remember those guys. Like, I haven't seen them. Like, but when I go back to watch Scribble Jam, my breath's taken away. Just the skill level. It seemed to have just been a lot higher than it is now, in a way.
Yeah, well, back then there was still like the issue of like, there's no such thing as a battle rapper, right? There's not like, oh, he's a battle rapper. There was cats that were fucking really good at battling, and you're like, you don't want to battle that guy, but they make music, and ultimately they're, battling to promote their brand. Where I think it kind of actually made a turn when all the West Coast cats came out there, like Ilmac, Bo-Rat, Thesaurus, and I remember specifically talking to some mindbender on philiflava.com, and he was like, yeah, these guys, like, they don't even have music, they just battle. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, really? They just battle? It's so weird. And I was really turned off to it at first, and it's crazy looking back at, especially, dude, like, watching Juice live freestyle is fucking amazing. He's the GOAT for sure. He's a GOAT freestyler.
And what was the next step from going to Scribble into recording?
So then I moved out. I was living, I grew up in Colorado, and I moved out to San Francisco to go to film school. And I actually, like, the first like week I was out there, I went to a battle. I went to the battle that No Can Do beat XI in, and I forgot what it was called. It was in Daly City. Right. But yeah, and I was kind of like, oh, this is cool. I'm actually like at this battle. I actually filmed it too. I never uploaded the footage. But yeah, and then I was just posting on rapmusic.com a shit ton. Like, I met like Lush on there, Philip Drummond, and essentially Philip Drummond was throwing these like events called 16 bars, and it's kind of like a battle, but not really. It's like you spit a verse over a beat, you spit a verse freestyle, and then a verse a cappella. So, and you can like battle your opponent if you want to, or just rap, whatever. So I saw that Thesaurus was actually going to go to that, and I was a huge fan from watching the WRCs, obviously. So I was like, nobody's really putting out any cool looking videos, and I knew I was like already a working editor at the time, so I knew I could do something that people would be impressed by. So I just went there, filmed it, and uploaded the footage to YouTube, and everybody was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And it's like motion graphics in it, and then that's that's like how little you had to do back then to impress people. And then I met Philip Drummond, and we started working on the Fresh Coast DVD, and around that time I started meeting everybody because I interviewed all of them. I flew out to New York to interview Iron Solomon and Poison Pen and Critical, and that's around the same time that Lush started filming Grind Time, and he's like, I'm filming this event. It's the first Grind Time West Coast event, and I agreed to do it if I could use the footage in the documentary. And basically I just filmed every event after that. I was like hooked. So
is that with Dirtbag Dan and the Coroner?
Yeah, that's the first a cappella battle I ever filmed was Dirtbag Dan versus the Coroner.
Easy. What an event that was as well, and it's kind of in essence what the Bunker came back down to, that kind of intimate, bar to bar sort of play. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I definitely like skeletoned the Bunker around the feeling of the Battle of Bay events heavy like that. In my mind, there was like nothing like that, and I don't think we're ever gonna get that feeling back. Having fucking in one room, you got Hollow, Marv One, Averb, Conceited, Arsenal, and then you got Kid Twist, fucking Thesaurus, Ilmac, like basically every genre of battle rap under one roof, and
the crowd accepting all different styles, all different demographics. It was it's a beautiful thing, man. Shout out Lush for like really spawning and making something fucking beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. It really was incredible. And talking of incredible, I've got to say, Avocado, as a battle rap fan, it does hurt that the bunker isn't there anymore. It's awful.
I know, man. It sucks. You know what's the funniest part, dude, is it's still fucking there.
Oh, no.
It's still there. I drove by it the other night just because I was like in the area, and I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna drive by and see if the building's still there. It's still fucking up.
Oh.
The Cadillac Ron mural's still there.
No.
I was like, damn it. But you know, it sucks, man. But I have some plans. I have some plans in the future. I want to get it back. It's just I gotta make sure I don't really take as big of a financial hit that I did with the first one, because the first one was pretty rough. But yeah, I definitely think there's room in battle rap for something like that again. I think it was a really unique thing, and to have like basically like not really elite, like people weren't like, oh, I want to battle on King of the Dot. They were like, oh, I want to battle at the bunker. Mm-hmm. You know, it became like the battle rap venue, the battle rap like headquarters, and that was like my plan. So definitely want to get it back, man. It's gonna take some time. So
it was just great to see it form. Like, you know, with you at the helm, you had this idea, you went through it. It was a giant success with tons of classic battles that are going to live forever, outlive us all. You know, it made all the better for this kind of like, by all accounts, quite stifling warehouse. And you know, it was a giant success, wasn't it? It's something to really be proud of.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, looking back, I'm like, fuck, that's really awesome. I did all that. There was definitely times doing it that it was like insanely fucking stressful, and I was like, this isn't worth it. This sucks. But looking back, I'm really, really stoked on it. The little mark I left on battle rap, I think, is pretty tight. So.
Oh man, you have a huge laceration on battle rap in the best possible sense, creatively, and so the bunker was constructed. You said headquarters, so it was like it'd have good Wi-Fi, it'd be angled well for crowds. It thought of everything, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more stuff that I was planning on doing with it. It was really fucking just sprouting when it got shut down, and that's why it was so frustrating, because I was like, we were gonna like rent it out for film shoots, and that's how it was gonna eventually pay for itself. And we were just booking film shoots like that month, and then it got shut down. And there was just so many other stuff I wanted to do with it, you know, like at the December event, the event that Thesaurus battled Verb and B. battled Cortez. We made this huge Cadillac Ron memorial that like towered over the crowd, Steve Finch drew it, and we were gonna do one of Young B the Future, of PH, just all the battlers that passed away, and it was gonna be like kind of like a Hall of Fame thing around the Octagon. There's just tons of cool shit I wanted to do, but I just didn't have the time, and unfortunately circumstances happened and it got shut down. So
wow, that would have been fucking awesome, man. That would have been really powerful. Yeah. Oh,
I know, but you know, the future's looking bright right now with Ruin Your Day. Like
that, yeah. Sorry, just to interrupt. Ruin Your Day. It makes sense. It's like you're such a guy that needs a project, you know, to really creatively nourish, and it's morphed into Ruin Your Day, isn't it? It's morphed into the watch. It's morphed into the content. It's just another extension of your battle rap, love. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, Ruin Your Day was around for I literally just made it because I'm like, dude, I have all this like old freestyle battle footage that nobody really wants.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna make some fucking side channel and just upload it there, and really was just like kind of like an afterthought. And then it fucking like in the past year, it's just like grown out of fucking control. Like, you know, especially obviously with Watch was the huge proponent in that. But yeah, it's just gotten so big, and like honestly, I like what it's kind of made. You know, because like since this is such a niche art form, we can't just like every Sunday watch like the game with our bros. You know, it's like not like we can just call over whoever to watch a battle. So it like creates like this community together with all of us. So it's like I like that feeling that it's kind of like all like fan driven too, you know, and not. And it's so crazy that it hasn't gotten to like a talkback-ish level where it's like, you know, cringeworthy. It's like still like fucking, I don't know, it feels cool. And I'm like, I've never been like so excited about something in battle rap until like we started doing the watch series. I was just like, this is fucking fun. It actually makes me like battles again.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah, word. So yeah, man, Ruin Your Day it's fantastic, and it's like, it's definitely, I have like such optimism for the future of the channel. There's so much more I have planned that we're gonna do, more ideas, more battles. Want to do way more battles, and yeah, I'm fucking hyped on it.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, just to settle on the watch series for a second, I found this with Battle Rap Resume as a whole. Like, you talk about battles that people know or people don't know, and they're just really fun in their own way to pick through and just to point out stuff and discover stuff and, you know, see battlers that you know really well in battles that maybe you don't or battles that maybe you do. And, you know, the commentary aspect, the director's commentary element to battle rap, it's so necessary.
Nice. That's glad you think that, man. Another cool thing that I think happened out of Watch is that it like humanizes the battle rappers a lot. I remember before like we started doing it a lot, the first two came out, there's all these comments. They're like, whoa, Ilmac's actually not a fucking arrogant piece of shit. Oh, he's actually a pretty cool guy. And I'm like, right. Yeah, as is most people involved in this art form. They're all fucking really nice, awesome humans. And I think that's the coolest thing. And also recently we did the watch with Hollow, Tay-Rock, and Briz.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
And yeah, I saw kind of the same thing. People were like, whoa, Tay-Rock's actually super humble and nice. I like him a lot more now. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. If that show can like gain battle rappers more fans as a result of them being like nice people, I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, certainly. And it's just, it's the combination, really. It's like, what battle are they going to watch next with what guests? And some of the battles spiral into like 90 minutes, like discussion. It's crazy.
God. Yeah, we watched fucking Iron Solomon and Enes with myself, Ilmac, Hollow, and Direct. And I think the battle is only like 30 minutes, and the fucking watch is 2 hours.
Oh my god, yeah, it is. It was uploaded for, it's 1 hour 49, so that is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, but I mean, you've got to just go there, haven't you? You've got to welcome these guests, and you know, you have such a, in the same way Joe Rogan does, he has these kind of, you know, he has lots of guests, but he has people he relies on to have on, and you have that set, don't you? That kind of core group.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's funny that you bring up Joe Rogan, because that's like the exact same analogy people have like hit me with.
Oh yeah, it's battle rap's Joe Rogan. It's like, oh, any podcast is Joe Rogan-esque, but yeah.
But yeah, like I do have a core like group of people. I think Ilmac is like one of my favorite people to have on watch. Chase and Lush, they're just all like my like side wing guys, you know, and they're like, oftentimes I'm like, I just call up Ilmac because, you know, he lives close and we're friends outside of battle rap, and I'm like, dude, just come over. I already have 4 people on the show, but I need you there, you know. He definitely helps like lubricate the show. Like we did a show with Kid Twist, Caleb Worthy, and Jackie, and they're the cast on Bodied.
Nice.
And I had Ilmac come over too, because I was like, it might be kind of weird with just 2 actors, myself and a battle rapper. I kind of need just an extra battle rapper there. But that's like actually kind of one of my favorite watches recently, because it was interesting hearing the actors talk about their experience on Bodied and how they kind of like, you know, looked at battle rap after filming the movie, who they researched while filming the movie. It was fucking cool.
That's fucking crazy. That's the sort of thing I'd love, man. I can't wait to watch that. Like, be honest, how good is Bodied?
You know what's funny, man? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. It was playing at the AFI Film Festival. One of my good friends, she was actually the assistant to the director of the film festival, and she actually came to World Dom 7 too. It was hilarious. And she's like, oh, so this is battle rap movie, and I'm like, oh yeah. And she has a link to it if I ever want to see it. But the 2 days it was playing was on my girlfriend's birthday and then on my birthday. So I missed both the screenings. But I've heard nothing but good things about the movie, and I could not be more fucking happy that it's going this way. Like, I'm going to be fucking completely honest. I actually turned down a role in it.
Wow.
Because I was really nervous, man. I was really nervous about like all I saw was like racial satire, and I heard about a couple things that happened in the film, and I was like, I'm nervous about it, and I don't know if I'm comfortable attaching myself to it. And I'm so stoked it's good. I like fucking am so hyped for Alex Kid Twist who wrote it.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to see like all the homies like on a big screen, and it's fucking actually got picked up for theatrical distribution too. So it's like it's fucking phenomenal. And the fact it's like a different movie, you know, it's like Hollywood mainly pumps out fucking action, comedy, and horror. And Bodied is nothing like any of those. So I think it's going to actually do very, very well.
I mean, anyone, Avocado, of any film persuasion, the religion is Rotten Tomatoes. And
yeah,
it's got 95% Bodied.
I know, it's crazy, man. I'm so stoked it's doing so good, and I could watch it right now. I could ask my homegirl for the link, but I want to see it in theaters.
Sure.
I think that would just be such a fucking insane experience.
Yeah. No, I mean, at the time of us recording this, none of us have seen it, but obviously the first chance any of us get, please be on video on demand. I'm sure it will be in some sort of form. But yeah, Bodied, cannot wait to see that. And I mean, in terms of Ruin Your Day channel, further on, you know, you've put on battles yourself, and that is directly from the Patreon. Is it sort of the fans funding the events?
Yeah, the Patreon, like I could not thank everybody that's on the Patreon enough. Like it helps so much. And basically I want to get it to that point where we're throwing battles every single month, you know, and it's like it's being completely paid for by the fans. You know, we actually did the hot air balloon battle, you know, with Laughingstock and Thesaurus, and that was completely paid for by the Patreon. And then we did Battle in the Desert, which was essentially in fucking Mexico with Pigsty and Random. It's going really good, man. It's super good, and I'm really hyped on everybody's feedback from those battles, that they're not kind of turned off by them, but they're kind of interested in like the different element it brings to the culture.
Yeah, the one-off, but the sort of edgy one-off on the spin-off channel. But it makes you realise, oh, it's just battle rap. It's just, you know, writing and like putting them in the desert as well. Inspired, like very simple, but works so well with the material.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do a battle in the desert, and luckily enough, Random and Pigsty were both down, and I think they're both like insanely talented battle rappers, and that battle turned out really fucking good. I'm super hyped on that, and I like that there's like very minimal reaction too.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's dope. I want to do more. I want to do a lot more. So.
And you went. I mean, you hadn't shot in the desert yet, but you did have a duel in the desert.
yeah. The event out in Phoenix.
Beautiful event.
Yeah.
May I say?
Thank you. And I've told this story before about this event. I actually just told it because we just watched Aver versus Danny Myers from that event.
Oh my god! Brought to AZ, just crazy.
Yeah. So I actually told this story that we were actually supposed to have way more film equipment for that event, but and we were supposed to have one thing in particular that's never been done in battle rap before and still hasn't. So I'm not going to really give that away.
Okay.
But it's something that I was really excited for, and the venue was perfect for it. And the fucking delivery guy like got arrested that morning, so we didn't get any of the film equipment we were supposed to have. That's why the angles, even though it looks really good, the angles aren't really the best, and they kind of look weird. You can't see the crowd. It's like it wasn't ideal, but I was glad we were able to make the best out of a unfortunate situation.
Yeah, it's just, I don't really have like a technician's vocabulary to describe why I think it's so good, but it feels very wide. It feels very interesting the way it's shot. It's very dark. I love the look of the battles.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I was super hyped on the way that turned out, and that's the intro to those battles is a lot that people bring up as being like one of their favorite I did.
Yeah. It's like, is that rock music I
hear? yeah. Fucking Murder City Devils is like right. Seattle fucking alcoholism at its finest right there. But yeah, I've been wanting to use that song for something for a while, and Jeff, the guy who shoots basically everything I work on, he's like one of the main parts of my team. He actually went out to the desert like a week prior and just had all this fucking incredible footage of just like the desert. Right. And I was like, can I use that? And he's like, yeah. And it worked out phenomenal.
It's fucking brilliant, man. And in terms of that battle, can I make a suggestion? Danny Myers on Watch.
Yeah, man, I would love to. I think he, if I'm not mistaken, I think he lives in Vegas.
Is that right? Okay.
But whenever he's out here, I fucking want to get him on. There's a lot of people that actually are pretty close that I should have had on. I should have had Danny on. I should have Daylight, Dumbfounded, Satire. There's just a lot of cats that live out here that I'm
everyone would come on as well. Everyone would be like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's watch a lunacy battle.
Fuck yeah.
You guys watch Don't Flop, but not that much.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing about it is I think there's been actually multiple times that I'm like, all right, let's watch a fucking Marlo and Shuffle T battle, and I put it on, and I think some people just don't really like it. They'd be like, and they'd be kind of making fun of the accents too, which is always right. I try to always stray away from that because we don't do a good job with that. Our impersonations of the British accent is fucking horrible. Right. But yeah, I mean, if the watch isn't going good, it sucks, and I kind of I've vaulted some just because I don't think they really gave the battle the attention it deserved. And
right.
There's I've been getting hit up so much to watch Gemini versus Shocks. I think that's
you got it, man.
I actually haven't watched any of the battles from that event. I watched the trailer. It looked dope, and I'm super glad Liam is filming Battle Rap again. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, that's one battle that we got to get on there. I just want to do it during a watch that we do during the day. So most of the chat would be, from England in that demographic. So it would kind of make more sense. But yeah, we've been slacking on Don't Flop battles for sure.
What are some other battles that you vaulted that have just not got the reaction you wanted?
Okay, this one is fucking hilarious. T-Rex versus Unkasa.
Right.
And the reason why I vaulted it, I actually love that fucking battle, and the reason why I vaulted it, because it was one of the first watches we did, and it was fucking me, Disaster, Hollow, and Roan. And I was I was so uncomfortable with Diz and Hollow because, Diz is a very extreme person, that I fucking got insanely drunk. I got so fucking drunk during that watch that, at the end, when we're watching T-Rex versus Unkasa, it's literally just me and Hollow, and I'm fucking wasted, and, slurring my words, and you could tell Hollow just didn't want to be there anymore. So that got vaulted just because I'm a fucking idiot. And after that, I got Hollow a fucking lift, and I come back in, and I fell asleep live on watch, at my desk. I think somebody fucking made a video about it, but yeah, that was a vaulted one for sure. Right.
Didn't you vault Fozzie versus Jack, the King of the Ronalds one?
Yeah, I vaulted that one also just because it was me, Sharon, Chris Mitchell, and Frack watching a video where a white kid says the N-word, and I was like, not the best.
Okay, no, I'll give you that. But I mean, all in all, the Watch series, as everyone listening to this knows, is a fantastic addition. It's great to see battles go up that as well, and you're like, oh god, like when you did Shocks versus Soul, for example. That was great to see, and Shocks Tony as well, where I love that Ilmac was kind of confused that Tony won, and that was pretty awesome to see as well. But all in all, it's a fucking fantastic channel, and in terms of going forward with the channel, I mean, you've done battles, you've done commentaries. Is there any sort of other direction music videos you've done as well? Anything you want to try?
There is.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on a show right now with Big K. We dropped a trailer for it. Essentially, it's just him being Big K in the world, and he's just documenting his travels. And so far, the footage he sent me, it's every single clip has some sort of fucking funny anecdote. So it's actually really hard to edit because there's so much good shit. It's kind of like the Go Roan series. And then also working on the same sort of style of a show with Thesaurus as well. So there's going to be 2 new shows dropping in the future with behind the scenes and travel documentary from Big K and Thesaurus. And besides that, I don't know, man. There's some stuff I've been thinking about, but so far, it's like, with having a day job and doing battles and Ruin Your Day, it's like I've gotten so uncontrollably busy to the point where my girlfriend has like accused me of having a work addiction,
Right.
and like, so I definitely am like trying to like scale back a little bit
Sure.
on like because right now, literally, man, every moment I have free, I'm like, okay, I'll just go film something. I'll go film a music video. I'll go fucking do a watch. I'll do a free beer. It's like there's never any time where I like really have like downtime to like just relax, and I think I just need to back off a little bit.
No, well, I mean, I'll encourage you to keep working, please. But I mean, I appreciate the well-being concern there. But in terms of recording as well, I know you talked on this quite a lot on the channel itself, like capturing an event, and it's a very different discipline to a lot of other things in cinematography, isn't it? Kind of capturing a long-form performance for often an hour or so.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, battling is super unique because essentially it's like from like a DP standpoint, like how they would approach it would be like, okay, this is essentially like an argument, between two people. It's what they would attribute it to, like in a script or a film, but it's like it's not that. It's not a music performance, and if you treat it as either one of those, it just looks stale and boring, And not to mention, like, those URL battles are long. they're like long as living fuck. When I had Rock and Hollow on, because I didn't really know how they work out round times, because I'm like, I've only seen Smack call time on like fucking one person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so do you guys get like round times? And they were saying it's usually 4:30 to 5 minutes. So that's crazy. And then also factor in crowd reaction.
Yep.
It's like fucking insane, dude. Like, everybody that goes on URL is a fucking beast, man. If you can write 15 minutes of like unique material over and over again, that's fucking like astounding. But yeah, keeping people's attention for that long is pretty difficult. So that's why you can't see people that like are good filmmakers kind of just jump into battle rap and be accepted. It's like everybody's used to a certain look, a certain aesthetic that they like, and I think I've figured out what the what the broad majority of people enjoy. So I just tend to go towards what I know.
Yeah, it's pioneering to a certain extent, and led the way for a lot of people. You came over here for 7th birthday. I remember a video you posted of you being unimpressed by grime.
yeah, man. Grime is super aggressive, dog.
Yeah, it is.
It's aggressive as fuck, and it's like in between battles they would play it, and it's just like literally felt like I was getting just punched in the face like repeatedly. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is insane. But yeah, man, I loved being at Don't Flop. Liam's a good friend of mine, and it was fucking awesome. I want to come out there again. I was actually thinking about coming out to London to do like some watches with Liam and Kruger, and then also film a battle somewhere like near like the Eye or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, please do, man. That would be awesome. I mean, maybe even filming events over here as well, like you did 7th birthday. Yeah.
I mean, whatever people have cracking over there, like, I'm open. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a freelance artist, so I'm not like, oh, I don't film this for this league or this, that, or the other. I'll film for whoever wants to hire me, honestly. And I fucking loved going over there. I love the crowd. I'm a huge, enormous fan of all the rappers over there. So, yeah,
there's a lot. Are you aware of the UK scene? Because it's very fragmented at the moment. Lots of new leagues.
Yeah, I'm not really like that privy to what is set in stone. So I know a lot of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes right now. But I don't really know what's public or not. So it's like I know that Don't Flop is pretty much like on a break, on hiatus, I should say, right now.
Yeah.
And then I know I'm kind of confused as to what this other league is that Danny
Code
right?
Red. Code Red.
Yeah, it's called Code Red. Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. And then also, of course, you got Shoddy doing the Premier Battle League, which looks fucking really exciting. But yeah, man, I mean, they want to fly me out, I'm totally down.
I mean, Chalked Out as well is there, and yeah, that would
Oh
be,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Shox's
Man, that's
league.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
mad,
lot of
isn't it?
fucking leagues,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. Battle Rap Resume launching a league right now, just fuck it. You know what I mean? It's that sort of it's that sort of environment. But no, you're right. It would be awesome to see you over here. I mean, the UK scene as a whole, like, who are your favourites? Who do you really enjoy, past or present?
Uh, I mean, I'm like an enormous fucking fan of Marlowe and Shuffle Team.
Oh,
Like
come
those
on,
are
man.
like my favorites. I watch absolutely anything they do. I think Soul is like one of the best writers in fucking battle rap. Period.
Yeah.
Him versus Ilmac has to happen
Oh my
eventually. It
god.
has
Yeah.
to go down.
On Ruin Your Day,
Um,
man.
I that one I think it would be more appropriate for a league.
Sure,
Like
sure.
it just I don't know if it would be presented in the best way.
on
Like
on a sand dune again. It's like,
yeah, word. But yeah, man, Soul, Shuffle Team, Marlowe. I think I actually like Dialect a lot.
ah,
I think he
yeah.
fucking just sounds dope like when
Yeah.
he raps, and I'm kind of just more into people that like phonically sound really cool. I'm like, you know, a lot of lines, as everybody knows, seeing me on Watch, go over my head. I'm not really the most quick-witted audience member, so it's like if you can, you know, pull me in with just sounding fucking awesome, I'm always like open to that shit. And then I think is fucking amazing at battling too. I was a huge fan of him when he was doing his thing. So
And let's look at some of these questions people left. Oh man, someone posted your IMDb. Someone asked the worst battle ever filmed. Malathion and Christian 818. It says.
oh, Malathion versus
Malathion.
Christian 818.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is my favorite battle of all time. Fucking love that battle so much. If you haven't watched it, man, go
Holy
peep it.
shit.
It's on Grind Time.
Okay.
It's the setups, everything's incredible about that battle.
You said in your Reddit thread that you spent $100K on a worthless degree at film school.
Yeah, I did. I don't advertise going to film school.
Sure.
I think the film industry doesn't require a degree. Nobody gives a flying fuck that I got a degree. They never ask for, like, you know, credentials when signing up for a job. All that matters at the end of the day, as in most industries, is who you know. So it's just all about networking, and then of course not being a piece of shit, showing up on time, doing your job. And yeah, I went to film school, graduated, and you know, my first year there, I started interning at a production company, and then by my second year in film school, I was already a working editor, so I was already like in the industry essentially. And that taught me more about film than anything film school could have offered, like actual real experience that you can't learn sitting behind a desk. You need to go out there and do it. So I definitely advocate for people not to go to film school and save that money and actually just go work for free, because it's going to teach you a lot more. You're going to meet people. You're going to probably get hired and have a real job. So I definitely think film school is not the best choice for everybody. It might work out for some people, but I think overall it's smarter just to actually start working and get experience.
When you were interning at this production company, apparently you slept on the floor. You never went home.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I think my girlfriend does have a point with me being a workaholic, but I just worked my ass off. I was like, dude, I'm gonna work as hard as I can right now to get a job. And there's plenty of times when I was there until like 3 a.m. and I would just crash on the floor and then fucking go shower at the gym up the street and buy like a new fucking shirt from Walgreens.
Right.
It was fucking crazy. And that was such a interesting time in my life, because it was also when the WRCs were happening, the first one. And it was like really like a pivotal time in me just like working my ass off and getting my career into the film industry started, and also kind of like spawning my love for like what eventually would become out of battle rap. So
Who's the easiest and most difficult person to work with?
the easiest and most difficult. Okay, well, I love this guy so much, like wholeheartedly. He's one of my good friends, but difficult, I would definitely say Disaster.
Right.
He is a very sensational human being, but I love Diz. And then easiest, I don't know, man. There's a lot of people that were a pleasure to work with. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, King of the Dot as a whole organization has been nothing but a pleasure to work with. Organic. Honestly, I might even say as well, URL has been easy to work with. They've been a pleasure. And shout out Chico, Beasley, and Smack, man. They're like,
you've met
they're
Chico,
amazing.
the unseen guy.
Yeah, that's actually the main guy I communicate with. Yeah, so it's URL is owned by 3 people, and Chico is the guy that's not really about being on camera and like being in front of the lens and all that shit. But yeah, I mean, they work amazing as a team, as a company. It was a pleasure working with them, and super hyped to be filming their next event on December 9th too.
Yeah. Let's talk about that briefly. So that's like a real small room event, isn't it?
Yeah. So essentially, what they're doing is they're copying the bunker. No, I'm just joking. Right. But they're it's actually fucking really cool. I'm really psyched they're doing this. It's a VIP invite only event, so you can't buy tickets to it. And they actually are not even giving the address out until like the very last minute, so people won't show up. And then I think there's maybe going to be 100 people there, and 6 battles on the card.
Wow.
And it's a pay-per-view only event, and I'm hyped for it, man. That's a fucking killer idea. I'm super psyched, and just how they want to go back to like the old Smack feel is that got me. I like honestly wasn't expecting them to go this route, and I'm really psyched on it. And the card is fucking awesome. B Magic versus Ab in a small room. Give me a fucking break. That's gonna be insane. And there's another battle that I don't think they've announced yet. That's, in my opinion, the headliner, and it's fucking crazy. Has somebody on it that hasn't been on URL in a very long time. Yeah, so it's gonna be tight.
Okay. Crazy, man. You're a salesman as well as a cameraman, man. I mean, I'm very intrigued, and yeah, I can't wait. I mean, you and URL, I know it's early days, but is this a sign of sort of a good partnership, or?
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing bad, like absolutely nothing bad to say about working with them, and that's very rare after an event. Like, I remember when we were leaving, I was like looking at Jeff, and Jeff is like, man, this is like the happiest you've ever been after an event. And I was like, yeah, it's weird, huh? Like, this is how it always should be. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep doing events as long as they keep hiring me. And the same goes for any other league. I'm not going to staff myself up with any league in particular because it'd be a conflict of interest, especially with my stuff would ruin your day. But yeah, I'm going to always be freelance, and I loved working with URL.
And in sort of King of the Dot terms, who should get the next title shot?
Whew, I don't know, man. There's a lot of contenders, and fuck, I don't know. Like, I think my list is going to be kind of different than everybody else's because, I don't know. I think Pass is up there. I think Thesaurus is up there, and I think either Big K or Iron Solomon is up there too. Right. Like, I know nobody ever suggests them for the title, which is so weird to me because I'm like, dude, they've like done the most like classic battles on King of the Dot. But yeah, I think those guys are definitely next in line. I think it's probably gonna realistically come down to Thesaurus or Pass though. So,
do you own a pair of King of the Dot socks?
I don't. I don't. I think the only thing I own of King of the Dot gear is like a hoodie that says Avocado on the back, which is hilarious. That they made for me.
But I mean, Ruin Your Day has sort of tie-in merch, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We're actually, on the Patreon, if you sign up for the $20 tier, you get a koozie and a hat. And we're actually going to be printing up real merch pretty soon, like shirts with like the palm tree logo that we made and actual dad hats with like embroidered stitched logos. So I want to do a lot more merch. It's just all about getting the funding up to do it. So
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I mean, this has been absolutely enlightening just to go through this shit, man. Like it's almost too big. Like, just everything you've done, every event. Do you ever look back and are just like incredible, baffled by it?
Yeah, I mean, Sometimes I look back and I'm like, Jesus, man, what am I doing? but most of the time I'm super proud, and like honestly, like Ruin Your Day definitely, like, if I don't know if I would still be doing this if I didn't have Ruin Your Day. It definitely like saved me being in battle rap wholeheartedly. So I look at that and I'm like fucking proud as shit, and especially just like how overwhelmingly positive everybody is about it, and like how like almost, this sounds weird to say, but almost like how nice everybody is, because it's like battle rap is such a volatile like art form that's kind of based around a lot of negative aspects, and fans can get pretty mean. So it's definitely like, it always makes me feel like filled with great pride that I'm like, okay, people aren't hating on everything I do. So
No, definitely not, man. So we'll wrap up with a few quick-fire questions. The first one being your favorite Don't Flop battle.
Favorite Don't Flop battle. Shit, man. There's a lot. I like Soul versus C Major.
Oh, so
a shit
good.
ton. Yeah. One that I watch constantly though, that I always go back to watch, is Shuffle T and Marlowe versus Zen and Dialect.
Holy
I love
shit.
that battle.
Yeah, that's so good. You brought your
Incredible.
goons with you.
Yeah, and they literally made a fucking round about how much Dialect loves chocolate.
Yeah. Scoffy, waffy, chocky. Yeah, man.
Fucking amazing.
That's an amazing battle. Yeah, that's an amazing battle. King of the Dark, can you choose one?
Oh, favorite King of the Dot battle. That one is, should we say, one that I didn't book myself? Because I would probably be pretty, I don't know, man. Ilmac versus Big K. It's got to be my favorite.
Yeah, popular choice, but yeah, incredible. What about Grind Time?
Ooh, Grind Time, Hollow versus Pass, I
Yeah.
think. It's one of my favorite. Then fucking Verb versus Marv 1 is also fire. Jesus, that battle's amazing.
URL?
URL. This one is not my favorite of all time, but this is definitely one that's just like pops into my head because we watched it recently and I could not believe how fucking good it was. Geechee Gotti versus Glueezy.
Right.
That battle is fucking incredible. Great battle.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, interesting. Modern choice, yeah. And final two questions. First, what's your favorite film?
There Would Be Blood.
There'll Be Blood. Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking amazing, man. I can watch that movie constantly. My top 3 movies, just I know you only asked for one, but I think There Would Be Blood, Akira, and The Departed. I love The Departed so much.
Good choices. Good. All beautiful movies visually.
Yeah, man. And the funny thing is, I've tried to sneak quotes from all those movies into battle rap trailers. Like I used a There Be Blood quote in like the trailer for Aver versus Ilmac.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Ava, why did you behave the way you did in that battle? Ilmac washed you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I was super. Actually, another easy person to work with has been Aver. He was amazing to work with when I booked him versus Thesaurus, and goddamn, he fucking killed it versus Thesaurus. I was so hyped.
Yeah, this is yeah, that's a wonderful performance from him. And I guess finally, your favorite musical artist or band that are in no way hip hop related.
A lot of people already know this about me. Future Islands.
Right.
I'm a huge Future Islands fan. I was fucking borderline a goddamn stalker at points of them. Like I flew out to like Ohio to watch one of their shows. I've directed fan music videos for them.
Right.
And yeah, it's really weird too because the lead singer Sam actually is a huge fan of hip hop. And I've seen him rap before. I went to one of his shows where he was rapping, and he's actually friends with a bunch of my friends in LA too. So it's weird that we're kind of almost like the cyclical weird network. But yeah, Future Islands, fucking huge fan of them.
How would you describe their music? I don't think I've heard them.
I guess synth rockish. I guess I would say. But yeah, man, look them up. I'm sure you'd be a fan. Their live performances too are outrageously good. Sam is he's almost like a quasi fucking maniac dancer on stage. He's eating the microphone and wrapping it around his neck and shit. It's fucking insane.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely insane. Well, I guess that wraps up really. Like, anything to plug at last, like the Patreon, etc.?
Shout out to everybody that's on the Patreon already, but if you're not, go to patreon.com/ruin your day now. You can see all the watches right as they end, along with other content that I upload ahead of time. There's merch on there for the tiers that you sign up to. Subscribe to Ruin Your Day on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. And yeah, man, shout out Tom, BattleRapResume.
Thank you, man.
Sign up to his Patreon as well. I'm a huge fan of the show, man. Like, I fucking like these podcasts get me through traffic a lot. So thank you for that.
That's good, man. No, I whenever I'm recording, I'm always like, I wonder where this is going out in the ethosphere. But it's like, Avocado's car in a traffic jam. They couldn't be anywhere better, really. Some cameras in the boot, just off to another shoot. But no, this is honestly, man. I couldn't imagine anyone better to come on for episode 100, and huge fan of what you do, and a constant inspiration to Battle Resume. And we'll stop this love fest there. But seriously, man, thank you yet again for coming on, bro.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much, dude.